In this lecture, I would like to discuss about elevation of boiling point of a solvent and the thermodynamic derivation of elevation of boiling point of a solvent. So, what is the elevation of boiling point of a solvent? The boiling point of a solvent is the temperature at which the vapor pressure of the solvent becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure. Now we know the boiling point of the water, it is 100 degrees centigrade. So when the water boils at 100 degrees centigrade, then at that temperature, the vapor pressure of the water becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure. That is the atmospheric pressure, it is 760 mm. Atmospheric pressure, it is 1 atmosphere or 760 mm. Now what is the elevation of boiling point of a solvent? Elevation means rise in boiling point of a solvent. So let us see what is a elevation in boiling point of a solvent. Okay, so to discuss this elevation in boiling point of a solvent, let us take the example of water. So suppose if we have take a water in a beaker and we boil the water. So the water boil at the temperature 100 degrees centigrade or 373 Kelvin, and this is the boiling point of water. This is the boiling point of water. Okay, boiling point of water. Now if we are adding the non-volatile solute, non-volatile solute in water. Suppose we are adding the non-volatile solute, that is sodium chloride in water. So due to the addition of the sodium chloride in water, the vapor pressure get decreases. Vapor pressure get decreases and the liquid boils at higher temperature. The liquid boils at higher temperature. So in this case, the boiling point of the solution is boiling point of solution is increases due to the addition of water. Okay, due to the addition of non-volatile solute, sodium chloride in the water. Now suppose that boiling point it is 373.5 Kelvin. Then now this is the boiling point of the solution. Now the difference between the boiling point of the solution, boiling point of a solution and boiling point of a solvent, difference between the boiling point of a solution and boiling point of a solvent is called as elevation in boiling point. Now suppose that boiling point of the solution it is T and boiling point of the solvent it is T0. Then this difference, that is T minus T0, it is called as elevation in boiling point and it is denoted by delta TE. So delta TE, it is the elevation in boiling point of a solvent. Okay, the same solvent, when the solute is added into that solvent, then that solvent it is now a solution and the boiling point of that solution will be higher than the boiling point of the solvent. So in this case, the boiling point of the solution it is increases as we add the non-volatile solute, because due to the addition of the non-volatile solute, the vapor pressure get reduces here, and due to the decrease in the vapor pressure, we require more temperature to boil the solution. Therefore, the boiling point of the solution it is higher than the boiling point of the solvent. Okay, so let us see now. So the vapor pressure of the solvent is increases as the temperature is increases. Now you can see there are graphical representation. This is the graph of vapor pressure versus temperature. This is for solvent and this is for solution. Now as we increase the temperature, the vapor pressure of the solvent is increases. Okay, suppose if we have take a solvent in a beaker, if we have take a particular solvent, for example water in a beaker. Okay, so as we increase the temperature, then the vapor pressure is also increases, because more vapors are formed here. So vapor pressure will be increases here onto this liquid water. So as we increase the temperature, vapor pressure will be increases, and that vapor pressure will be reaches to the atmospheric pressure. Okay, that is one atmosphere. That is the atmospheric pressure. So the vapor pressure becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure here. And this is nothing but the boiling point of the solvent, that is boiling point of the water. So here T0, it is the boiling point of the water. Okay, now let us see, in that same solvent, if we are added, or if we are adding some quantity of the solute, for example 1 gram of sodium chloride, if we added there, then what happens, the vapor pressure get reduces here, and now it becomes the solution. So let us see here solution. Now for the solution also, as we increase the temperature, vapor pressure will be increases here. It will be increases up to the atmospheric pressure. Okay, and corresponding temperature is T here. Okay, so for the solution, the boiling point of the solution, it is higher as compared to the solvent. Okay, so boiling point of the solution, it is T here, and this difference between the boiling point of the solution and boiling point of the solvent, it is called as delta TE. So in this case we can write here delta TE, it is equal to T minus T0, where T, it is the boiling point of the solution, and T0, it is the boiling point of the solvent. Okay, so this curve represents the variation of vapor pressure with respect to temperature. So this is for solvent and this is for solution. Okay, so you can see here T0, it is the boiling point of the solvent, that is we have shown here for this solvent curve. Then T is the boiling point of the solution, so it is also seen here, that is for the solution curve. And delta T is the elevation of boiling point of the solvent. So delta T, it is the difference between the boiling point of the solution and boiling point of the solvent. Now let us going to derive the derivation here. Okay, so the elevation of boiling point, it is delta T, it is equal to T minus T0. Delta TE, it is equal to T minus T0. This is T minus T0. Okay, or it is T minus T0. Now from the graph, it is seen that the vapor pressure of the solution, you can see, let us select the 2 points here onto the solution curve. Let us select the 2 points here onto the solution curve. 2 points. Okay, so at this point, suppose vapor pressure, it is P here, and at this point the vapor pressure, it is P0. Okay, so let us select these 2 points. Okay, so at vapor pressure P, corresponding temperature, it is T0. Okay, and at vapor pressure P0, the corresponding temperature is T here. So we select the 2 points onto the solution curve. Then we are getting the 2 temperatures, T and T0. And for this, we can apply the Clapeyron-Clausius equation. See here, from the graph, it is seen that the vapor pressure for the solution are P0 at temperature T and P at temperature T0. Okay, in the graph we have shown P0 at temperature T and P at temperature T0. Then we can apply the Clapeyron-Clausius equation. So the Clapeyron-Clausius equation, you can see the Clapeyron-Clausius equation, it is ln P1 upon P2, it is equal to minus LV upon R. into 1 upon T1 minus 1 upon T2. So this is the Clapeyron-Clausius equation, because we select the 2 points onto the solution curve: lower vapor pressure, higher vapor pressure, lower temperature, higher temperature. So in this equation, P1 is the lower temperature. So according to the solution curve, P1 it is P, and P2 it is P0. Higher vapor pressure it is P0. Okay. Then lower temperature it is T1 it is T0, and higher temperature, that is T2 it is T. Okay. So let us put these values into this equation, P1 P2 and T1 T2 into this equation. So you can see here ln P1 it is P, so ln P upon P0. Okay, so we can put here the value ln P1 it is P here, so P upon, and P2 it is P0, higher vapor pressure, it is equal to minus LV upon R into 1 upon T1, so 1 upon T0, T1 it is T0, and minus 1 upon T2, that is T, higher temperature. So in this way we can apply the integrated form of Clapeyron-Clausius equation to this system onto the solution curve. Now in this equation, LV, this capital LV is the heat of vaporization per mole of the solvent. Heat of vaporization per mole of the solvent. Now this is equation 1. Let us modify this equation. So we can write this equation now: ln P upon P0, it is equal to minus LV upon R. Let us simplify this equation now. Okay. So we know the equation now here. Equation 1, it is ln P upon P0, it is equal to minus LV upon R into 1 upon T1, that is T0, minus 1 upon T2, that is 1 upon T. So this is our equation 1. Okay. Now let us start from this equation. Now we can simplify this equation. So we can write this equation now: ln P upon P0, it is equal to minus LV upon R, okay, into, it can be simplified as T minus T0 divided by T0 into T. Okay. Now in this equation, T minus T0, suppose this is equation 2, but we know that T minus T0, that is boiling point of the solution minus boiling point of the solvent, it is equal to delta TE, elevation in boiling point of the solvent. So we can put here, so equation 2 can be modified as ln P upon P0, it is equal to minus LV upon R into delta TE upon T0 into T. Okay, this is equation 3. Now for a dilute solution, for a very dilute solution, okay, suppose that solution becomes very dilute. For a very dilute solution, then uh, the product, this T0 into T, it is equal to approximately equal to T0 square. Okay. Why this is? Suppose if we consider water as a solvent, then the boiling point of the water, that is T0, it is equal to 373 Kelvin. And if the solution is very dilute, then suppose that T, it is equal to 373.01 Kelvin. Okay. Now the difference, it is very less. Now the product of this T0 into T, it is equal to T0 square. For a very dilute solution, this rise in boiling point, it is very less. Okay. The increase in the boiling point, it is very less. So the product of this T0 minus T, it is equal to T0 square. So let us substitute this into this equation 3. So therefore equation 3 can be written as ln P upon P0, it is equal to minus LV upon R into delta TE upon T0 square. Okay, this is for the dilute solution. If the solution is very dilute, this is equation 4. Okay. Now let us apply the Raoult's law here. So according to the Raoult's law, all of us know Raoult's law. Okay. According to the Raoult's law, So we can write here the Raoult's law, that is P upon P0. It is equal to P upon P0. It is equal to 1 minus x2. Okay. P upon P0, it is equal to 1 minus x2. This is the Raoult's law that is known to us. So let us substitute this P upon P0 into this equation on the LHS side. So we can write ln 1 minus x2, it is equal to minus LV upon R into delta TE, elevation in boiling point of a solvent, divided by T0 square. Okay. Now this is suppose equation 5. Now the logarithmic expansion of this equation can be written as mathematically the logarithmic expansion ln 1 minus x2, it is equal to minus x2 square by 2 minus x2 square by x2 cube by 3. Okay, like this. Now once again, for a dilute solution, for a very dilute solution, if the solution becomes very dilute, then the higher powers of this mole fraction will be neglected here. X2, it is the mole fraction of the solute. X2, it is mole fraction of solute. So for a very dilute solution, if the solution becomes very dilute, the value of the x2 becomes very, very small. Then the value of x2 square by 2, it is also very small. So these higher powers are neglected from this. Therefore, we can write here ln 1 minus x2, it is equal to minus x2. Okay. So let us substitute this in this equation. So on both sides, so we can write here minus x2, it is equal to minus LV upon R into delta T upon T0 square. Okay. Upon T0 square. This is the delta TE here. Delta TE upon T0 square. Okay. Now we can simplify both side negative sign here. Okay. So negative becomes positive. And we can write here the derivation for the delta T. So delta T, it is equal to RT0 square divided by RT0 square divided by LV. RT0 square divided by LV into x2. This is supposed to be equation 6. Okay. Now in this equation, R is a constant. T0, it is the boiling point of the solvent. It is also constant. The boiling point of the solvent cannot be changed. Water has the boiling point 100 degrees centigrade or 373 Kelvin. So it cannot be changed. So boiling point of the solvent remains constant. LV, it is the heat of vaporization per mole of the solvent. It is also constant. So therefore we can write here delta TE. These three values are supposed to be constant, is directly proportional to x2. So we can say that elevation in boiling point of a solvent, it is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the solute. So as the mole fraction of the solute will be changes, elevation in boiling point of a solvent will be changes. Okay. So we get here the equation 6. Now let us modify the equation 6 here. Okay. Let us modify the equation 6 here. So let us write here the equation 6. Delta TE, it is equal to RT0 square divided by LV, capital LV, into x2, where x2, it is the mole fraction of the solvent. First of all, let us write all the terms here. X2, it is the mole fraction of solute. Mole fraction of solute. Okay. Then LV, it is known to us heat of vaporization per gram per mole of the solvent. R, it is a gas constant. So we know the value of the R, it is equal to 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole. This is the value of the R that is given here. Now T0, it is also constant, and LV, it is also constant. Okay. Now in this equation we can substitute x2. X2, it is the mole fraction of the solvent. So x2, it is equal to N2 divided by N1 plus N2. Okay. where N2 it is the number of moles of the solute. N2 it is the number of moles of solute, number of moles of solute, and N1 it is the number of moles of solvent. So according to the definition of the mole fraction, it is the number of moles of that component divided by total number of moles of all the components. So mole fraction of the solute, it is equal to number of moles of the solute divided by total number of moles of the solvent and solute. Okay. Now once again, for a dilute solution, if the solution it is a very dilute, then for a dilute solution we can write here N1 plus N2, it is approximately equal to N1. Okay, it is approximately equal to N1 here, because as the solution is very dilute, number of moles of the solute are very less, negligible, and number of moles of the solvents are higher. Okay, so N2 it is negligible here, therefore we can write N1 plus N2 approximately equal to N1. So therefore it is written as X2 equal to N2 divided by N1. That is for the dilute solution. This is for dilute solution. This is for dilute solution. Okay. So let us substitute now into this equation. Suppose that it is equation 6 here. So we can write delta TE, it is equal to RT0 square divided by LV multiplied by now N2 upon N1. Number of moles of the solute divided by number of moles of the solvent. Now how we calculate the number of moles of the solute? So number of mole of the solute, it is equal to W2 upon M2. Weight divided by molecular weight. Weight of the solute divided by molecular weight of the solute. Similarly, N1 it is equal to W1 divided by M1, where W1 it is the weight of the solvent and M1 it is the molecular weight of the solvent. Let us put this into this equation. So we can write now equation this equation X2 equal to, so equation 6 can be written first of all, let us say this is equation 7 now. Okay, X2 we substitute here N2 upon N1 for the dilute solution, then this is equation 7. Now equation 7 can be written as, so let us write equation 7 by putting this value delta T, number of moles can be calculated according to this formula, weight divided by molecular weight. So delta T it is equal to RT0 square divided by LV into N2, that is W2 upon M2. Okay, now it is divided by N1, it is divided by, so M1 goes to the numerator, so we write here M1 divided by W1. So we are getting this equation now. Suppose that equation 8. Okay, we just substitute N1 and N2 into this equation. N2 equal to W2 upon M2 and N1 equal to W1 upon M1. Weight divided by molecular weight, that is number of moles, can be calculated. Now in this equation, equation 8, LV is the latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization per mole of the solvent. Per mole of the solvent. Now let us convert this in the per gram of the solvent. So now in this case, small LV, it is the latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization per gram of the solvent. Per gram of the solvent. Okay. So to convert now capital LV into small LV, so we can write here capital LV, it is equal to small LV multiplied by M1, that is M1 it is the molecular weight of the solvent. Okay, or to get a small LV here, that is latent heat of vaporization per gram, so capital LV divided by M1, then per mole get cancelled here. Okay, it is having the unit per mole, then it is converted to per gram here. Okay, so we know that capital LV equal to small LV into M1. Small LV it is the heat of vaporization per gram of the solvent, and capital LV, it is the heat of vaporization per mole of the solvent. So put this now into this equation. So equation 8 can be written as delta TE, it is equal to RT0 square, RT0 square divided by capital LV. Now capital LV, it is small lv into M1, and remaining terms W2 upon M2 into M1 upon W1. So in this equation, this M1 and this M1 get cancelled. Then we can write the equation here. So delta TE, it is equal to, so RT0 square divided by small lv now into W2 divided by M2 into W1. So we are getting this equation here. Now suppose that this is equation 9. Okay. So let us see this derivation now here. Okay. So we modify the equation now. So you can see that this ln p upon p0 equal to, already we have explained this, p upon p0 1 minus x2 logarithmic expansion. Then we get this equation. Then delta t, it is equal to, so RT0 square upon LV into x2. X2, it is the mole fraction of the solute. But we know that x2, it is equal to N2 upon N1 plus N2. So for a dilute solution, N2 is very small. So therefore N1 plus N2, it is equal to approximately equal to N1. So this is x2 equal to N2 upon N1. So put that delta t equal to RT0 square upon capital LV into N2 upon N1. Now into N1, it is W1 upon M1, and N2, it is W2 upon M2. So we can substitute these values into this equation. Okay. Then we can write the next step now here. So see, by putting that N2 upon N1, we are getting this equation. Now capital LV, it is equal to heat of vaporization per gram multiplied by molecular weight of the solvent. Okay. So we can put this capital LV here. So we can write now what is small lv. Small lv, it is the heat of vaporization per gram of the solvent. So by doing this, this M1 and this M1 get cancelled. So we can write this equation, that is now equation 10. Okay. Now let us introduce the term molality into this equation. Let us introduce the term molality into this equation. Okay. So how it will becomes now, you can see the equation now here. Let us write here equation 10. Okay. So we reaches up to the equation 10 here. So delta TE, it is equal to RT0 square upon LV, now small lv, into W2 upon M2 into W1. Okay, this is equation 10. Now let us introduce the term molality into this equation. Molality into equation 10. Molality small m. Now what is the definition of the molality? Molality m, it is number of moles of solute, number of moles of solute per kg of the solvent, per kg of the solvent. Okay. So what is number of moles of the solute? It is N2. So N2 per kg of the solvent. Okay. Per kg of the solvent. N2 divided by weight of the solvent, it is given in per kg. So we can write here, it is N2 divided by weight of the solvent. Suppose that weight of the solvent, it is W1, and we know that N2, it is equal to W2 upon M2, weight divided by molecular weight, weight of the solute divided by molecular weight of the solute. So let us do this. So molality m, it is equal to, we can write here by putting this N2. Now it is W2 upon M2. Okay, it is divided by W1. So this W1, it is let us write this W1 now. Okay, W2 upon M2 divided by W1. Now it is weight of the solute, it is given in gram here, but according to the definition, it should be it is in kg. So let us convert this W1 in kg. So we have to divide here, this is by 1000. So we can write this equation now. W2 upon M2 divided by W1 upon 1000. Okay. So now it is in kg. W1 it is weight of the solvent in gram, but to convert this gram to kg, gram to kilogram, we have to divide it by 1000 here to the W1. Okay. So therefore now we can write this molality M, it is equal to W2 upon M2 into 1000 divided by W1. So this is the mathematical expression for the molality. Okay. So let us introduce this molality into this equation. Okay. Now, first of all, equation 10 can be modified as, so you can see equation 10 can be written in this way. I would like to write the equation in this way, RT0 square divided by, so multiply the denominator by 1000. Okay. Similarly, the numerator by 1000 here, W2 into 1000 divided by M2 into W1. M2 into W1. So you can see molality is equal to W2 into 1000 divided by M2 into W1. So this is nothing but the molality. Okay. This is equation 11 here. So we can write now, substitute molality here. So delta TE, it is equal to RT0 square divided by LV into 1000, okay, multiplied by molality. So in this way we can introduce the term molality here. Molality, it is number of moles per kg of the solvent. Now in this equation, R is constant, T0 is constant, LV is also constant. Okay, and 1000 it is a constant term. So instead of writing this, so I would like to write here RT0 square divided by LV into 1000. So this is equal to Kb. And Kb is called as molar elevation constant. It is called as molar elevation constant. It is a molar elevation constant. So this equation can be written as delta TE, it is equal to Kb into molality. So we are getting this equation, suppose that this is equation 12. Okay. Delta T, it is equal to Kb into molality. So you can see now here. Okay. So we will reaches to this equation 10. Then, but molality, it is the number of moles of the solute per kg of the solvent. So this is the definition of the molality already discussed by us. Now to this multiply the numerator and denominator on RHS side by 1000. So this is nothing but molality. Okay. So you can see here. So RT0 square upon LV into 1000 into molality, that is the equation 1. R is constant, T0, that is the boiling point of the solvent. It is also constant. Okay. LV, it is the heat of vaporization per gram of the solvent. So these terms are constant here. This is constant, this is constant, this is constant. So we can write RT0 square upon LV into 1000, it is equal to Kb. So where Kb is called as a molar elevation constant. So this equation can be written as delta TE, it is equal to Kb into molality. And where Kb, it is equal to RT0 square upon LV into 1000. So this is now equation 12. Now this equation 12 shows that elevation in boiling point of a solvent is directly proportional to the molality of the solution. Okay. Elevation in boiling point of a solvent is directly proportional to the molality of a solution because Kb is constant here. Now suppose that if the molality of the solution is unity, M equal to 1, that means the solution, it is 1 molar solution. Okay, molality, it is equal to 1. Then this equation 12 can be written as, so M equal to 1, delta T, it is equal to Kb. Elevation in boiling point of a solvent becomes equal to the molar elevation constant Kb. So the constant Kb can be defined as, the constant Kb can be defined as, so constant Kb is thus, let us write that equation first. Delta Te it is equal to Kb when it is molality equal to 1. So constant Kb is thus rise in boiling point of 1 kg of the solvent when 1 mole of the solute is added to the solvent. Kb, the definition of the molar elevation constant is that it is the rise in boiling point of the solvent of 1 kg of the solvent when 1 mole of the solute is added. M equal to 1 means 1 mole of solute, 1 mole of solute is added into 1000 gram or 1 kilogram, 1 kilogram of solvent, that is moles per kg. Okay, so delta this constant Kb is the rise in boiling point of 1 kg of the solvent when 1 mole of the solute is added. Suppose that we are having this 1 kg of the solvent. 1 kg means if water is there, then this is 1000 ml, and we have added 1 molal, so 1 molal solute into this solvent. Then the constant Kb is the rise in boiling point of 1 kg of the solvent when 1 mole of the solute is added to the solvent. That is the definition of the molar elevation constant. Now equation 12 can be written as, so you can see equation 12, we can substitute here. Let us delta Te it is equal to Kb into molality. This is equation 12. So put here molality. Molality it is equal to this W2 into 1000 divided by M2 into W1. So therefore we can write this equation. Okay. So we can write M2 equal to this. M2 it is the molecular weight of the solute. So M2 equal to, okay, M2 equal to, so Kb into W2 into 1000 divided by delta Te into W1, where Kb it is the molar elevation constant, W2 it is the weight of the solute, delta T it is the elevation in boiling point of the solvent, and W1 it is the weight of the solvent. So thus in this way we will get here the molecular weight of the solute according to this equation, and it is related to the delta Te, elevation in boiling point of the solvent. So in this way, in this topic, we have been discussed the three important things. Okay, we have been discussed the three important things. First, it is, you can see delta Te it is equal to, delta Te it is equal to RT0 square upon capital LV into X2. So we can say that delta Te it is directly proportional to X2. Elevation in boiling point of the solvent, it is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the solute. This is one. Then second equation, delta Te it is equal to Kb into molality, where Kb is a constant. Molar elevation constant, it is a constant term. Then we can write that delta T is proportional to molality. Elevation in boiling point of a solvent is directly proportional to the molality. And the third equation we will we get here, M2 it is equal to, okay, M2 it is equal to 1000 into W2 into weight of the solute, that is W2 into I think it is divided by delta Te into W1, delta Te into W1. So M2 it is I think you can see here Kb, molar elevation constant. Okay, so this is the equation, M2 it is equal to Kb into W2 into 1000 divided by delta Te into W1. So in this way we can determine the molecular weight of the solute according to this equation. M2 it is the molecular weight of the solute. If Kb, that is molar elevation constant, W2 weight of the solute, delta Te elevation in boiling point of the solvent, m1 it is the w1 it is the weight of the solute. So if we know these values, then we can determine the molecular weight of the solute. Okay, in this case we can determine the molecular weight of the solute.